The wind rolled softly across the wide plains as dusk settled over the ranch, turning the sky copper and rose. And in that quiet hour she stood before him, Alara, the giant bride everyone whispered about, tall as legend, strong as myth, yet trembling now like a girl discovering love for the first time. Her shadow stretched long across the wooden floor of the barn, and when she knelt so her eyes met his, the world seemed to narrow to the space between their breaths. He had faced storms, bandits, hunger, and loneliness, but nothing had ever shaken him like the way she looked at him, eyes full of longing, trust, and a fierce kind of devotion that asked for nothing but truth. Her voice came low, almost afraid to break the moment, telling him he was the only place she felt safe, the only man who saw her not as something to fear, but as a woman worthy of love. He reached for her hand, rough fingers brushing warm skin, grounding both of them as memories of their journey together rose like ghosts the first night she arrived at his ranch, wounded and hunted by cruel men who wanted to use her strength. The way he offered shelter without questions, the slow evenings by the fire where silence spoke louder than words, and the way she laughed when he finally dared to joke, surprised that someone like her could laugh at all. Love had grown between them not in grand gestures, but in shared meals, in mended fences, in nights when the wind howled and they stayed close, just to feel another heartbeat nearby. When he pulled her gently toward him, resting his forehead against her chest, it wasn't desire that led him but belonging, a deep recognition that two lonely souls had finally found home in each other. She wrapped her arms around him, careful yet protective, as if afraid the world might try to steal him away the way it once tried to steal her freedom. Outside, coyotes cried and stars ignited one by one, but inside that barn time slowed, stretched thin by emotion, by promises unspoken yet deeply understood. He told her in a voice rough with feeling that he had chosen her long before he admitted it to himself, that strength like hers deserved a love that would never ask her to be smaller. Tears traced silent paths down her cheeks as she answered that she would stand with him against anything, town gossip, danger, fate itself, because love, she had learned, was not about size or fear, but about who stayed when the night grew cold. They swayed together, no music but the creak of wood and the rhythm of two hearts learning to beat as one. And in that closeness was a romance deeper than touch, a vow stronger than words, a future quietly unfolding like dawn over the plains. When they finally stepped outside, hand in hand, the moon rose high and full, blessing their union not as a spectacle, but as something rare and true, a love born of patience, respect, and courage. And as the firelight faded behind them, their story became another whisper carried by the prairie wind, a reminder that even in the harsh Wild West, tenderness could survive, and love could rise taller than fear. If you felt the romance, the emotion, and the soul of this Wild West love story, then you're already part of our journey. Subscribe to the channel Wild West Dairies for more powerful romantic tales, timeless Western love stories, and unforgettable characters who stay with you long after the story ends.